7th, 2019, Los Angeles. I figured I'd start this video about journaling. Well, journaling. The truth is, journaling has been like water for me. It's what lets me talk on and on about shit some people might not care about. Or more eloquently put, paper is more patient than people, as Anne Frank said. I look at every journal as a chapter in my life, and I owe it to myself to document because the human brain isn't capable of retaining the small life moments that create the framework of our memories. Plus, I like life so much, even when I don't like it, which happens a lot, by the way, that I want to capture and save every moment so I can relive them as I flip through the pages of the past. I've never felt like taking a moment to talk to myself in the privacy of my own brain was a waste of time. Some people only jot down when things are bad. I used to be like that, but now I make sure to include little details that were capable of making me smile even on the crappiest day, so that the next time I feel bummed, I read and remember that there's always a reason to smile. It's been the one constant too, which makes it similar to a support system. I step away from my feelings the minute I write them down and read them. I become my own analyzer. I gather my thoughts and make sure to read back so I'm not making the same mistakes. Because let's be real, we all are creatures of habit, even the spontaneous ones. So needless to say, writing and documenting my journey, both publicly and privately, are very much a part of my identity. With life going by so fast, I figured it'd be a shame not to truly savor all the reasons to laugh, cry, grieve, feel grateful, and grow from it all. In my opinion, everyone owes it to themselves to get to know themselves. And here's the craziest part. That journey won't end until our last breath. So to me, it's one of the most important and interesting relationships we'll each ever get to experience. And my way of digging deeper starts here on the surface of this page. Well, damn, that's a lot of journals. Where do we begin? Oh man! Okay, so here are all of my journals. This is my life. This is my life chronicled into several different journals. We have one from 2005 with a little bit of gum foil on the back. This is the 8th grade. I was in my very artistic vibe here. This is a thick one. This is 2010. This is freshman year of college. This one's definitely gonna be good. This is 2012. This is Paris, study abroad, cover to cover. This one is one of the juicier ones. This is about a steamy romance. And I made the mistake of writing in pencil, and so now I secretly want to like hire people to type this up for me so I don't lose it because I'm obsessed with memories, as you all know. This is from 2016. This one's really worn. This looks like a travel journal, and that it was. This one is also from 2016 into 2017. Napkins. Oh God, I'm so glad that I have all of this. This one is really falling apart, but this is 2018, believe it or not. One of my favorites. I wrote down every flight that I took, and then I lost count at 40. Oh, and this one is this year. So I've been journaling every year since 2005. That is 15 years of journaling. Okay, shall we dive in? Where was Joanna's mind in 2005? This is May 23rd, 2005. Well, I was definitely not good at spelling. I'm so hyper, H-I-P-E-R. Today was a good day up until lunch. Even though today I look like shit, I survived. I was wearing my purple Mamani Shupa shirt with matching purple hoops and my skin-tight Brazilian blue jeans with a paper clip to hold it in. Oh my God, I know where this is going. I think people think I'm poor. Always had a sense of humor. I always wear the same jeans, and all my jeans have a hole or a rip in them. So anyways, in the morning it was the same as usual, you know. And then in a second, I was pissed at Bob. This is an ex-boyfriend. We were walking out to math and I avoided Bob. So I turned the corner around the lockers and guess who was there? None other than Bob. After it, he was all pissed because Linda was so he spit on her. Oh yeah, this is when an old boyfriend was trying to pressure me, and I wrote about it because I wanted to make sure that I didn't want to have sex with him. And I didn't have sex with him, and now he's in jail. So I made the right decision, and it all was because of journaling. I'm so glad I wrote all of this down. This journal is obviously not my most delicate and precise journal, but I still have my feelings, and my feelings were confused, and that's a good thing to write it down because writing down confused feelings make them a little bit less confusing. Let's check out what was going on in 2006. Rose petals, this is nice. These are the things that I want to remember. this hideous keychain that my high school sweetheart gave me in middle school. Life is too good. People, I would have forgotten about this damn keychain had I not taped it in here. Okay, 2007. Sometimes I wish I could be me. No strings attached. It's the hardest thing ever, and it's all that I want. It's still the same old girl. Tons of feeling. Okay, January 21st, 2010. Damn, it's been a while since I've written. I recently found out who I am prior to the 3.5-year relationship. I'm a pretty cool girl, and I can honestly say it's been a pleasure getting to know myself. The pain that I've gone through has made me stronger. I've learned to love myself in a way that no one ever will love me. Trusting oneself is so great and a wise trick that will erase any pain encountered in a lifetime. Okay, so heartbreak back in 2010. This is college. This is where it starts getting interesting. Since when are all my neighbors like the most musically involved people? Like nobody ever listens to music until I turn on the camera, okay? Okay, here's an interesting page, and I'll try to drown out this country music that's happening in the background. It's July 11th, 2010. I'm sitting next to my cousin talking to her about the importance of a diary. She's saying that she's unable to write her life's occurrences daily. And I explained to her that life's too short not to write because as humans we forget important things that we did or saw that enrich our lives. See, the thing is, I was able to write when not much was happening in my life, but because of the details that I put in there, now I remember that it was something. So even in the moment when you feel like you don't have anything to write about, there's always something to write about. July 23rd, 2010. Tonight was a relaxed night. I'm laying on my bed with my nightie on and the AC. The room is so cluttered that I can almost hear the walls scream that they're claustrophobic. Fernanda's sharing the room with me, and surprisingly it's not that bad. Probably because she's never home. She's so extremely different from me. She sleeps at the studio almost every night, and it's strange to me because I was never the type to live elsewhere for such long periods of time. I think one main reason is because I fear I'll overstay my welcome. That and because I don't like being away from my home too often. I always need to go home and recharge my social battery, which is ironic considering I've made a career of being far away from home. Now, for the Paris chapter. January 15th, 2012. Iceland, never thought I'd come here. KR is currency. What does that even stand for? Crackers, cranium, or crap? Never mind that. Let's talk about the heavy sweat drops accumulating around my neck and forehead. Oh, the stress of travel. Right now, I'm halfway from checking a huge goal off my life bucket list. Go to France. Not only France, but Paris. For the past 6 months, I've been researching, filling out paperwork, and paying mad money for this day right here. My mom's here with me for 10 days, her excuse to give me moral support on the idea of living in Paris alone for an entire semester. But beyond fulfilling her motherly duties to me, she came with me because it had always been her dream to visit France for almost over 30 years. I gave her a reason to go, and it has now hit me. People are speaking French everywhere. I know I've worked for this moment, but I still don't believe it's happening. Almost like I'm too lucky for all of these blessings. Cover to cover, stories. This is when I started writing postcards to myself because journaling was not enough. October of 2018. On my way to Plaka from Athens airport, I googled best islands near Athens for a day trip. I picked one of the tiniest ones and ended up here. There was nothing and no one, but I felt plenty. Joe, come back here to write your books. Hopefully when it's sunny. You've always heard of the Greek islands. You never thought you'd actually be here multiple times a year, purely because you can, because you've built a life where you can essentially do what you want when you want. It still doesn't fully hit you. Still doesn't fully hit me. September 9th, 2018. I just moved to London and it doesn't feel like it. I'm still unaware of how to dress. A long sleeve shirt and pants are way too hot. A leather jacket looks good but makes me sweat my ass off. My hair gets frizzy because it misses grease. And frankly, so do I. I miss the sea and the sun, and it's only been 1 week. The curse of being a nomad. I want to be everywhere and nowhere at one time. Shut Up and Go is launched, and all I'm doing is worrying about the payments that still haven't come in, contracts that haven't closed, and all the spending our company does on travel and payroll. At night, I'd unsuccessfully break my thumbs on Tinder and try to keep in touch with my long-distance friends back at home. My life has so much good in it. It's just not all in one place. These are the breadcrumbs to the big loaf of bread that is my life. And with that, I hope I have inspired you to write. So here are some tips on journaling
that I'm just gonna pull out of my ass right now.
Step 1, buy yourself a journal that inspires you to write. I look at every journal as this is what is going to be the next chapter of my life. What do I want that journal to look like? Because you're gonna be opening it every single day. So treat yourself. Go on a journal shopping trip. Every new chapter of your life deserves a new beautiful journal. Maybe even get a pen while you're at it. I buy nice pens, like this pen. This is a nice pen. It writes smooth. It makes me feel like I'm writing for me. It's my favorite color, and this is the kind of pen that I'm gonna look forward to writing with. Another tip is to open the page, and with your fancy new pen and fancy new journal, put your date on the top right-hand corner or wherever you wanna put it. Write down where you are because you're not gonna wanna forget where you were, and start talking about what is happening around you. Start capturing your present moment. Make your first entry be very much focused on the present, not the past or the future, on what's happening now. I feel like the importance of a journal is to capture the essence of what's happening in the moment, because there are very few times in our life where we give the present presence. And then, as a memory hoarder, you can always read what was the present moment back then, which then becomes the past, as mind fucky as that is. Another tip that I like to use is get out in public and start journaling, because not only are you going to feel more inspired from what's happening around you, but it gives you an opportunity to be disconnected in a public place alone. I've met so many people just journaling out in public. People think I'm writing a book, and I'm like, well, soon they will become books, but right now I'm just writing for me. And then that starts up a conversation, which then gives you another experience to journal about. Another tip is numbering the pages. It's pretty motivating when you see how far you've come and you just want to keep going, because when you see that you've written 50 pages, you're like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen in the next 50 pages. And that is exciting. Key times to journal, I feel like, are at the end of the day or in the beginning of a day. I'm more of a end of the day kind of a girl. I have my whole ritual when I write. I play some instrumental lo-fi hip-hop music. I usually light a candle, but when I'm traveling, I really like to write on planes. For this entire journal, I wrote where I was going and where I was leaving. And then I also write titles, because I feel like every page deserves a little love. Like, how do you recover from a love hangover? That's a good entry. Wine on planes with a journal makes me enjoy flying, as someone who hated flying. Miami to Los Angeles on the plane, being that person dramatically writing and crying. Writing is therapy, fuck what you heard. The reason why I consider journaling so important is because sometimes, being this homey Cancer, I feel like I need home, and sometimes I can't have it. Like, to be honest, I don't have home a lot of times, and so even if I'm uncomfortable, as long as I have my journal, that is my comfort. As long as I have paper and pen, I'm good. And I guess the last tip is, if you don't know what to write about, just ask yourself this question: how are you? How are you really? Draw a little picture, illustrate what's going on in the moment. You're gonna thank yourself for all of those details in journals, because when you read back, you're gonna be like, damn, that's where I was mentally. I'm so glad that I was there, or shit, I should not go back there again. That's kind of how I've matured and grown. I've gotten through the darkest times of my life journaling. I've gotten through the happiest times of my life journaling. I can relive those moments. I've understood why relationships in my life have come to an end. I've understood why I've attracted certain relationships in my life. It's all because of these papers. It's just journaling. So please leave me a comment if you journal. Has this inspired you to journal? Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I have been posting more written captions, just because I can't help but write about everything all the time. So let's keep writing and documenting, and I'm excited to see what y'all come up with. Professor Joe out. Imagine I was a professor. I would really thoroughly enjoy that. I can't get enough of writing. I think writing is my passion. The paper and pen just has a way of being so intimate that I appreciate it in such a way that it feels sacred. In terms of my heart, I've been hoping for something more casual, which is crazy to admit because Hoanna dominated the summer. It's Cuddy Buddy season though, and being a hoe is exhausting. So let me turn this off before I start crying. Okay, bye. Okay, that didn't last long.